Coach, your thoughts on the scrimmage first off, since we haven't had a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, I think, right now App State's 17 days away. I think probably 14 or 15 practices in there. Nowhere are we close to where we want to be game ready for App State. And that's got to be our mind focus. Good, bad from Saturday, you got to take that and you got to keep pushing forward every single day about how we want to take on App State and how we're going to beat App State and our mindset. And if we're not stressing ourselves every single day, then we're not doing our job, as players, as coaches, as support staff in the building. So that's got to be every breathing moment that we have. It's got to be about App State. It's got to be pushing forward for App State. And we see some guys, stand out on Saturday, but we also seen a lot of things we got to correct. We had our, we talked about our green dot, red dot last week, and the good, the bad, the ugly. I think we had about 45 plays we pulled from the scrimmage, and there was a lot of red dots that we got to get fixed. And the big thing was our effort has to be the standard every single snap from all 11 guys on the field, not just 2 or 3. We'd have good effort from 2 or 3 guys, but all 11 guys got to be that standard. And then the energy. We get too lulled into it's practice and we're just going through the script sometimes. And you look out there and it's the first time we've been in a game situation, and you look out there and we're just kind of going through the script. We get a third down stop and you couldn't tell it was a third down stop. We got to have energy, enthusiasm, juice, whatever you want to call it. And we got to be celebrating every single time. We make a play, we got to celebrate. And then just execution was the big one. And that comes a little bit being early, still in camp, still in the middle of things, and you got another week to clean that up before you turn all your focus to App State. So we got to get those three things cleaned up, as well as situational football. And that's just some of guys are still, a few young guys are still grasping scheme where they don't realize, hey, it's 3rd and 12 instead of 3rd and 5. Nobody's sitting there telling them in their ear, hey, 3rd and 5, look at the sticks here. Now we're finally off the field, we're in a scrimmage situation, and we got to turn it up to that and get going there. So that's kind of where we're at from the scrimmage. I thought we had some guys flash, but we got a lot of things we got to get cleaned up the next 17 days and get ready for a Thursday night down in Charlotte to beat App State. Is that a short enough answer?
That was good. Jeremy Lewis, he had a great pick on Saturday. How has he come along? And then also, with him and Xavier, how do you like that tandem, that rush?
I don't think those 2 kids even realize how much versatile they've made our defense and how good we can be with those 2 guys if they're playing at their top level, and when they play at their top level. And we got some packages moving forward. We get both those guys in the field, whether it's both the edges, X's inside, whatever it may be. I think they're in our best 11. Our top 11 guys that we want to get on the field. Jeremy made a spectacular play on that. If it's somebody played officials out there, maybe west of Mississippi, they'd say probably a ball hit the ground. But in the defensive staff room, those replays officials say that it was a catch. So I'm sure over in Coach Kirkpatrick's staff room, it was hit the ground. But he made a good play, and he's doing some good things. But both those guys got to continue to do the things I just talked about, execution, and that's both of them learning a new position. And a new set out there. So execution, X got a lot on his plate, playing both inside, outside, and some different package situations. So we're stressing those guys every single day and make sure that we're getting them ready for game time and be the type of game-changing performers that they are. So we got to continue to do that. It's the same thing I just talked about. If we don't stress those 2 guys, they're not going to be game changers. They're going to be the average guys, and none of us want that because they're both better than that.
Coach Houston said the defense was really up after Saturday's performance in scrimmage. How do you manage that confidence and keep it at an acceptable level where it's not too high, but you don't want to crash it either?
Yeah, I think, Coach Houston obviously sees things through different eyes, and he's the head coach. And I think as defensively, we got to sit here and just kind of what can we do better to be a better defense, okay? And we did some good things, don't get me wrong. But I gotta keep looking at it, hey, what do we got to do better? And the things we do better, we do good, or we did good on Saturday, we got to continue to do those things even better. To be a good defense, to be a defense that stops and run, that can hold offenses down and get them off the field and get the ball back to our offense.
When you look at the secondary, y'all have so many pieces, especially at safety and Sam. How much do you want to rotate those guys? I know you do a lot of rotating up front, but can you rotate that much on the back end too?
Yeah, we talk about rotations. And the big thing is we're going to play, we think we averaged about 65, 70 snaps a game last year. And we played about 40 snaps on Saturday. Now we got a long time to get in game ready, game shape. But how hard can I play for how many snaps? You know, is that 40 snaps, 50 snaps, 60 snaps? Is Jair Wilson at 80%, you know, and Gerard Stringer at 100%? Who's better on the field? So we got to make that determination. And then we got to find ways at the same time. We got some packages going in this week where both those guys will be on the field at the same time. So we got some things moving forward. We got multiple DBs on the field at the same time. Then at the same time, you got to figure out, hey, who's your best 11 and who's at 100% your best 11. You know, if there's a guy he's a little tired in the fourth quarter, who do you go with? And then make sure you rotate those guys throughout the game so we are at full speed in the fourth quarter as well.
How has the chain of communication developed this offseason, like from the line to Bruce at the linebacker position, DJ in the secondary?
So it's been pretty good. You know, as far as you got older guys that are making the checks, making the calls, you know, calling out things. You know, it's not just a linebacker doing it now or one safety doing it now. You got multiple linebackers doing it now. You got multiple DBs doing it now. You got multiple outside backers doing it now. So, you know, you're hearing that. You know, you got Elijah Morris inside that calls things out all the time. You got guys that are starting to be football savvy, football IQ. They're knowing the menu, not just the defensive call, not just the situation, but they're knowing the whole menu about, you know, the personnel, you know, short yardage, time on the field, 2 minute, 1 minute, 4 minute, whatever it may be. So that's nice to see those guys come along. At the same time, those kind of things I hit on to start with, we got to continue to build upon that and know exactly, you know, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5 type stuff. So
You talk about bringing the juice. Steve Ellis, I mean, he seems to bring it more than any coach I've seen. What has he meant to your defensive staff?
Yeah, all our defensive coaches are doing an awesome job. They're doing a great job. Their energy, and I think Coach Houston hit on it this morning. We, as coaches, we set the tempo for practice. We set the tempo for how we want to play. And Coach Ellis has brought that mindset, just shark mentality, hungry mentality. Nobody picks on us. Nobody messes with us. We want to be bullies, knock them back. And he's taking that to the corners room. If you can get that mindset in the corners room, that definitely mindset's going to bleed over to the safeties room and over to the rest of the defense. Because if they see a 175, 185-pound corner right there doing it, by gosh, a 230-pound linebacker better do it. So that's kind of the mindset. And those guys are doing a great job as coaches, Coach Tesh, Coach Weaver, Coach Dowse, of just kind of running around chasing guys and making sure that we're playing to the standard of our expectations and getting ready make sure we're getting ready to win a ball game.
Good. Thanks,
All right.
Coach.
Appreciate it, guys.